Welcome back to TalesBlip. And today's story is The Thorned Abyss. I used to love exploring the woods. Not anymore. My name's Jake Summersville. My parents are scientists with fancy degrees in agricultural sciences, which I never fully understood, but their work meant we moved around a lot. They studied land, crops, even wildlife. I didn't mind the constant moves, I liked the adventure, playing Indiana Jones in my mind as I wandered. Sure, there were close calls, but nothing serious. Not until we moved to a small town in Missouri. I can't remember the name of the place. My psychiatrist says I blocked it out, but I remember Zach Mays. He was 9, like me, and he loved exploring too. We met the day my family moved into a farmhouse on his family's land. Zach's folks were friendly, helping us settle in. When they handed my parents the keys, Zach introduced himself, hand outstretched. I didn't usually make friends easily, but Zach and I clicked instantly. It was the beginning of summer break, and we spent every day outside, catching little animals and releasing them. The land around us was huge, and at its edge was the start of the woods. Our parents warned us not to go in, but of course, we did anyway. At first, we'd stick to the edge, but gradually we started making our own trails, going deeper, marking trees to find our way back. One day, we came across an area dense with thorn bushes, forming a solid barrier. We tried to find a way through. But there was no path. As time passed, we forgot about that part of the woods. There was so much more to explore. To my surprise, my parents announced we'd be staying a while, studying anomalies in the forest. By October, Zach and I were in the same class at school, and as Halloween approached, the forest around us began to feel eerie, transforming from lush green to bare, claw-like branches stretching toward the sky, as if begging for their leaves to return. On October 30th, Zach stayed over while our parents went to some party. As we watched horror movies in the dim glow of the TV, Zach nudged me and grinned. "Remember that thorny part of the woods?" He asked. "Let's check it out. Everything's dried up, we can get through now." I hesitated, sensing something was wrong. But I didn't want to seem scared, so I agreed. We packed our bags with supplies and headed into the night, the blood-red moon casting a sinister glow. Our familiar trail markers guided us, and soon, we stood before the area where we'd once been blocked. The thorns had vanished, leaving an open path into the dark woods. I felt a chill. Zach and I exchanged nervous glances. But we pressed on. The air was silent except for the crunch of leaves beneath our feet, sounding like bones. A few times, the moonlight slipped through gaps in the branches, casting a red glow. Finally, we emerged into a barren clearing with a lake in the middle, though no lake existed on our map. Strange. I muttered as we stared at the water. But Zach, drawn to it, moved closer. "Come look," he whispered. The water's reflection didn't show us or the blood moon, it showed something darker, where trees along the shore were covered in what looked like flesh. I wanted to leave, but Zach, ignoring me, picked up a stick and prodded the water. Without warning, he lost his balance and fell in. I waited for him to surface, but he never did. Panicking, I shone my light into the water and saw his flashlight, not on the lake's surface but near the forest's edge in the reflection. I didn't stop to think. I dropped my gear, took a deep breath, and jumped in after him. When I surfaced, I found myself in a nightmarish version of the forest. The trees pulsed with flesh-like tendrils, and the air was suffocating. Zach's flashlight lay abandoned near the forest entrance, along with broken, blood-stained garden shears. I picked them up, feeling sick to my stomach. As I moved deeper into the woods, I saw pieces of Zach's clothing caught on branches, stained with blood. Following the trail, I eventually reached a barn made of rusted metal, its walls crawling with fleshy tendrils. Inside, I found him, Zach, hung on a meat hook, barely alive. He weakly held out his phone, mouthing the words "get out" before he died. On his phone was a photo of his attacker, a twisted, humanoid creature with razor-sharp claws and black, beady eyes. Suddenly, I heard screeches echo through the forest. I turned, and there it was, the creature from the photo, lunging at me. I instinctively flashed Zach's phone at it, blinding it momentarily, and ran. I raced through the woods. The creature's screeches growing closer. I reached the lake, but as I scrambled to jump in, it grabbed my leg, its claws digging into me. I managed to grab a flashlight and shone it into its face, causing it to recoil. Without hesitation, I leaped into the water, feeling that familiar disorienting vertigo, and surfaced back in my world. I dragged myself onto the shore, panting. I called the police, telling them my friend was dead. When they arrived, they found no trace of the lake or the barn, dismissing my story as a trauma-induced hallucination. We left that town soon after, but I still have nightmares. Sometimes, late at night, I swear I hear those creatures, screeching from the distant woods. Waiting for me.